Good evening, everyone. It is a special edition of the Huddle, and I have some great guests tonight that are going to share their YouTube content creator journey on the importance of not only being successful content creators, but also being successful in marriage. Right here, right now on the Huddle. Praise the Lord, everyone. Welcome to the Huddle. Yes, a special edition of Monday Night Huddle, not Monday Night Football, Monday Night Huddle here because we have a set of guests that are here that we wanted them to come on the right time and the right hour to share their content creation journey during this Black History Month. So let's get into a little of their bio. Today's guests let me listen to me closely for all you married folks and those who want to get married have been best friends and married for over 12 years. Their DIY journey began with a small budget, no experience, and a much needed update to their home. Yeah. They've learned how to be DIY from watching DIY individuals from watching other people's YouTube videos, and after a period of time, they took what they learned and said, we got to put it into practice and to help others. Yeah. As they have been on their DIY journey, they've been posting videos as far as 2015, but in 2019, they said it was time to get serious in these content streets of creating content on YouTube. The Grants believe that a home is improved with love and a little DIY. They also enjoy and encouraging marriage couples through their experience and walk in marriage. Their goal for the DIY Power Couple on YouTube channel is to build a community of DIYers who are inspired to improve their living space and try something new, but most importantly, to improve the quality of their life and marriage. Mm-hmm. This morning on the Huddle, we're thinking it's Saturday. This evening on the Huddle, we want to welcome Darius and Akila. I hope, man, let's see, when you go live, you think you got it. To the Huddle. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
I'm excited. Thank you so much for taking the time to be on the Huddle with us and just to share your content journey during this Black History Month. I really appreciate it. Those of you who are watching us on YouTube who've gotten the alert, or if you're watching us on Twitter, let us know in the chat where you're watching us from so we can acknowledge you. Be so kind to just tell our viewers, those who are watching live and the replay, how your journey started. I read the bio, but to give you an opportunity to do it.
So, it started based on we just needed to. The DIY journey started when we wanted to fix our bathroom for our home. So we had to figure out how to do the floor. I think that's when it really started for us. Is we never did a floor before, so we had to figure out how do we take it up, how do we put it down, what are we doing, what is it? Because I knew nothing about it. I mean, we started from scratch, not knowing anything.
So we went to YouTube, to see, okay, we know that people show how to do things on YouTube, and we looked at it, and then we were like, hey, let's share what we just did with people. This is great. We can update our home all by ourselves with no experience and not having any money at all. We were a young couple with young kids, and it just was.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, and so we were excited to share. And we just posted it on YouTube.
Yeah. So in 2015, it was our small bathroom. So we did a small bathroom makeover kind of, but it was just we did a whole makeover, didn't we? So we did a makeover, and let me tell you, before we did that, I went on YouTube to figure out how am I going to do this floor, because that was the main reason why we did the whole thing, was we had to get that floor fixed. So I went on YouTube, found this guy, and he was doing, I think, peel and stick on the floor. And so I was like, that looks easy. I could do that. And so the way he taught it helped me to understand and give me the confidence that I could do it myself. And that's why you got DIY, do it yourself. But he gave me the confidence of doing it myself. And so when I did it, there were some challenges to it, but we overcame all the challenges during that time, and we loaded it on YouTube. And then we just went by our business. We were doing life, working, family and stuff like that. We looked back, and it ended up at the time it may have had about 400,000 views. And then now it has over 500,000 views. So that was our first video.
Okay.
Yeah. And we didn't do any loading or making videos,
nothing else,
for that whole time. I don't know what we thought. We didn't really understand YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
All we wanted to do was give back to a community that had given to us. And one of the things that we saw on the DIY videos, they really didn't explain how much it would cost. So we decided to put the budget that we had to spend on this makeover, because literally every single tool, every single product we had to buy ourselves.
Yeah, we started with basically no tools, no experience, nothing, from ground zero.
Right.
So that's why we put that in there.
Yeah. So when we put it up, other DIYers were kind of like upset, because they were like, no, you can do that for much cheaper.
You can do it for $20.
But the thing is, a lot of already established DIYers have tools already.
Yeah.
So they don't really include that in the budget. So when they say, oh, we can do a bathroom under $100, they didn't have to buy all the things we had to. So I think maybe people related to that who really were first time beginner DIYers.
Yeah.
Wow. That is an interesting Genesis story that is so important for not just for families or individuals who are looking to do just improvement for their home, but like you said, even in YouTube content creation, to upload your first video and to have that type of experience is a powerful testimony to encourage anyone. So you begin to discover this gold mine of viewers that have clicked on, and you decide to say, okay, let's upload some new videos.
Well, that wasn't until 2019 though.
I'm sorry.
So that wasn't until 2019. So that was years later.
Okay.
We decided, because like I said, we went through life, and we were, then we came back, you get on the computer and you're looking, you're like, what? What's
so that? This is 4 years. There's a 4-year gap here.
Yes.
From the first video, and then to see over 100,000 viewers on this one video.
Right.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that we've learned since then that we actually did right on that particular video.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, so we did it by accident. We didn't know.
Okay.
I think it was just the mere fact that we really wanted to share an authentic, genuine experience as a beginner. And I think that resonated with a lot of homeowners and people that maybe were buying fixer-uppers, or our home was a bank-owned property. And so there was a lot of just a little upgrades, or if you're, purchasing an older home and you want to do some updates, but you don't really feel like you're handy necessarily, or you've gone to school and you know how to do contracting, professional work. What products were out there? We didn't realize that there were products out there for beginner DIYers.
Yeah.
They were making that. And so we tried it. And I think just the innocence of it did well.
It's not just the products as well as they have tools that are for beginner DIYers. So we picked up the tools, and I'm talking about no power tools. We had you're gonna saw, you're gonna use that muscle in there. And those tools we still have today. And they actually come in handy. So we're grateful for that.
That's a great Genesis story. So 4 years goes by, you see all these viewers, you decide to say, okay, we'll throw our hat in the ring of content creation.
Yes.
Walk me through the process of that next video and being able to say, how do we now identify our audience in building this channel?
Well, the funny thing about that is that we knew that our audience was going to be DIYers, obviously, because we're doing DIY specifically. But DIY, it has a large community. There's
correct
different, genres within the DIY community. So you also have the woodworkers, you have the decor, and you have the painters. You have the crafters. That's huge. You have a lot of crafters. So it's like, what type of a DIYer are we? So because we did our home, we focused on home improvement.
And I wanted to add something. There was we had showed another YouTuber our first video and our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And the first thing they asked us when they saw the channel was, what are you? Like, what? The name didn't match.
They had a different name.
It just was like one video. And she really pushed us to identify who we are or who we're going to be. And that's how we were a DIY power couple. So the first video wasn't even under the DIY power couple name.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, or like Darius was saying, we had to identify what type of DIYer are we?
Right.
And we're really home updates and home upgrades. So we're not like the fix, repair, or showing that. We're not going to build a, new shelving unit on the wall.
From
scratch.
Right.
Or have that type of thing. But we will help you to, if you want to change your carpet to vinyl, tile, planks, you want to change out a light fixture and add a ceiling fan, you want to do something like that. That's our lane.
Yeah.
And that's what we had to kind of decide what we were.
I mean, we're very beginner friendly.
Yeah.
So if you're a beginner or beginner to intermediate, if you're intermediate, then you're with us on that. If you're pro, you're doing your thing.
Yeah.
But we're going to find out ways to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So if we want to do our floor, we're not doing it the way a pro may do it.
Right.
Because they have to follow certain standards and certain guidelines and certain ways of doing it. And they've been doing it for years. But we're going to make it happen based on, research, and we're going to find the best way to do it. Now, we do it right. Because we don't cut corners.
And we make different products too, because like we said before, there are products that are designed for a DIYer. For example, there's like mud for drywall. So a contractor already knows when it's dry and he can paint over it. But for a DIYer, they have like mud that's pink. And it'll turn white when it's dry. So that's really for
we used that in our first video.
Yeah, so that's for a DIYer because you don't know.
Yeah.
So the products and everything may be different. So that's kind of how we knew we're beginner and we're home improvement.
And see, and the reason why I wanted to get a little specific with you both, because like you said, it's a large genre of DIY, doing it yourself. And we understand clarity is important in YouTube, especially starting out. When you don't have clarity about your channel, when you don't have clarity of who you're trying to reach and how you're going to reach them, that's going to minimize the success. Now, you guys were fortunate where you had a viral video that went viral over time, but now you're doing this full time.
Yes.
And you're being challenged to say, okay, let's get some clarity here.
Yes.
And so those, especially who will watch the replay of this video, who may want to throw their hat in the DIY ring, or just starting a YouTube channel, I really wanted to help you guys bring that message out about clarity of starting your channel, because the truth of the matter is not every person who goes on YouTube may not be as fortunate as you guys were.
That's very true.
Right.
I mean, most channels actually start off slow. They don't go viral and start fast, but
I think that the reason why it may have done well is because we actually didn't have any other competing content. So sometimes, YouTubers will put out a video about this and a video about that, and YouTube is trying to find
where
out
do you put them.
And we just had that small bathroom makeover just sitting there, and DIY. We knew that's what it was, and maybe that helped it a little bit, in that we weren't confusing the algorithm.
And it has an audience. YouTube already knows that it has an audience,
right?
So it's just a matter of, does your content fit its audience? That's what we're.
And I think that's why that helped us. That and just defining who we were, or if we're going to take this seriously and we're going to go forward, what are we going to do from here? Like, are we going to stay right here? It was like the pivoting point.
Yeah.
Are we going to still do home upgrades, or what are we going to do? And we decided we were going to still go forward with it.
That is powerful. We're talking this evening to the DIY power couple of YouTube, who really are redefining how you create content on YouTube, but doing it the right way. And at the same time, a message from in the family. And so I know I got these notes in terms of tips and everything.
Yeah.
But I want to just touch in terms of, you're starting to create thumbnails. Walk me through the process of, now you're making videos, and your process of saying, okay, how do we start working on creating quality thumbnails that'll get people to click on our video? Because you've already identified an audience that you can address a problem they need addressing and solved. But talk to me a little about your thumbnail process.
Well, for us, in our genre, what works for us may be different for someone else. So for DIY and home improvement, it seems like people like before and after for the thumbnails. That's what's working for us.
Yeah, we're still, we went through several different trials of what will work. So, some we have our face on it, and we thought people like that, and then or that would get clicks because maybe the idea of having a couple do it. Then it was like, well, we'll try to do a before and after shot, an action shot. But what's interesting is that for our genre of home, upgrades, home improvement, the before and after, almost with like no words, or it doesn't even have to have a lot of words, and doesn't really need to have our face on it, kind of works well. So we have one top performing video that is just straight basic like that, and we have another top performing video where we are on it, and we're kind of theatrical, and so now we're trying to weigh in, what should we do going forward. So I guess the process is looking to see what our audience would want to click on.
You have to intrigue them.
Yes.
They have to be intrigued. It's like, what is that? They're looking at it, they're like, wow.
Or how did they do that? Or so depending on our topic, if we're giving tips, this is kind of, I guess, what it is. If we're doing tips and we're not really showing a process, putting our face on the thumbnail kind of works well for us. When we're showing a transformation, it's better to show the before and after, or a little bit, kind of tease them.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like the how. So this is the what, and then how we're going to do it is something that we're still tweaking in the process of doing a good thumbnail.
One thing that we thought at one point was going to work for us was the who. We thought, if we're in there, if we're in the middle of it, then maybe people like this, and they don't want to see you all the time. They don't want to see you all the time in this. They want to see what you did.
Yeah.
Yes. And so, what's the final result?
We kind of learned that.
Yeah, we learned that
the hard way too.
No, and that's just part of the YouTube journey. In terms of, just like you said, starting with the project. I know I have an issue with my bathroom. I don't have the budget, but just like you did, going on YouTube and beginning to search someone out like both yourself, and to see you walk me through the process of, this is what the bathroom looked before. This is what the bathroom looks right now. This is the finished product of the bathroom. And doing it in such a way to keep my attention, because because we have such a short attention span.
Yes.
You've already gotten my attention because I got a problem, but now you can keep my attention and still address my problem at the same time.
Right. Yeah. That's the big thing about all people on YouTube. How do I keep your attention and keep you coming back to my next video?
Right.
So that's where everybody's at.
The challenge that we have with a DIY kind of genre is a lot of people will search for your video. They want a very specific thing.
SEO.
And so I want to update my bathroom, but I might not want to put in a ceiling fan. And so when you're a DIY, you have to have creative ways to get people to come back to your channel, because usually it's kind of like a one and done type of informational thing.
Yeah, I got what I need, and so I'm done. I'm out of there.
So that's what we're kind of growing in when you have a channel like that, that is kind of specific in solving a problem. You want people to also feel connected to you and want to see other things, even if that problem is not in their life right now.
I guess that's where we build the community.
Yeah.
So we call our family DIY PC family for DIY Power Couple family. So we bring them in. You go to our community page. We talk to them. We keep them updated and things like that. So we bring people in so they can stay and they can feel like they're a part of us.
And also feel like, hey, I want to understand, or I want to look at what some of the things I can do. I'm not in the position right now that I need it, but I'm looking for ideas. So we kind of had to shift in bringing content like that as well, so people will stay or return to the channel.
How have you guys been able, as you've built your community, been able to take new video ideas that maybe your community puts in the comment sections of your videos, or as you are making or completing and uploading a video and saying, if you have a particular request on a video on home improvement that you think you would like for us to do, leave it in the comment section. How have you guys been able to take advantage of that engagement strategy to be able to come up with new content to build your community?
Oh, we do it all the time.
Well, one thing we do is kind of presented ideas that we've already kind of pre-picked. So instead of kind of delivering it like, well, what would you kind of super open-ended? What would you like to see? It would be like, if you had a choice, would you rather see a sink being installed? Would you like flooring, or do you want to see
outdoors
gardening or something like that? And then we kind of present it that way. So we already know we can deliver on what it is our audience picks.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Oh, no, definitely.
Yeah.
And the reason why I asked that is because, like I said, DIY being such a broad genre, and to be able to find the right community or the person that's searching for a video, they may be looking to do something with their kitchen, and yet they come across your videos, and then they see that, okay, maybe this is not a project I need to work on right now.
Yeah.
But the simple fact that I can see that you as content creators are concerned about me as a viewer regarding my whole home.
Right.
Not just being a house, but a whole home. And that's why I want to get into brand message, because we've both learned through Think Media and Sean Cannell and some of the other great established YouTubers that consistency is important. Uploading is important, but the consistency of the brand and message. Talk to me a little about how your brand and message, not just as DIY, but as a married, powered couple, how that brand and message really start to birth.
I'll tell you that a lot of people, when they see us for the first time, they go into the comment section and they say, wow, I was inspired by you guys. And that makes us feel good to know that we inspire somebody just from working together. Something that you thought would be, or I thought would be a natural thing, just to work together with my wife, and my wife to work together with me. But it it turns out
I need you to say that again for all the brothers who are going to watch the replay. That man, I find it difficult to work with this woman, Lord, that you gave me.
I've talked to a lot of men who have said that they find it difficult, but I find it I find it easier to work with my wife. She finds it easier to work with me, and we have had to work at that as well.
Yeah,
so it's not like we're just like, oh, look at that, there's no problems. No, we've had to work at it. And if you want your marriage to work, you're going to work at your marriage.
We know our cycle already, as far as like, we're excited about the project. Then we get into it. Then we're really frustrated. Then we both have to take a time out. Then we have to record again. But we kind of have the same goal.
Or if we look at the colors, our biggest thing is deciding on a color or deciding on something, a product. And I told my wife one time, I said, you know what, babe? There are products for everything in this planet. So they make a product that we both will like. We will both like this one product. And guess what? We wait for it and we always find it. We find the color, we find the product, and then we put it in our house.
That was like the hardest part for me, because I would make a decision quicker. I would be like, yeah, I like that. We got it. And he's like, yeah, I don't like that. And I was like,
well, I say I like it, and then I change my like, because the color didn't look the way I thought it was going to look when we painted it on the wall or something. So I have to change it. I was like, babe, that's not it. It was
really frustrating at first. And then when he kind of said, with all the products out there, babe, there is something we both will like.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, is there?
Yeah.
There really? But there really is, or
but was.
There was.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's just the simple fact that God had to give him the wisdom to understand that as men, we don't have to be right. We just have to come up with the right answer from him.
Yeah, like redirect us. And so I was like, okay. So I was waiting, and we'd go in the store, and it was like it would appear.
It's like the sun shines.
And we both would look at it. And it's like, this is the one.
That's it.
And it didn't look like mine, or it didn't look like the color I had picked out. It didn't look like the color that he liked, or that he picked out. It really was this.
It was both of us.
It was like this thing that happened. So for us, we will wait for that process. Yeah. Okay. And we tell people, you have to have patience in marriage and DIY. I think DIY projects are the best marriage builder. If you can do a DIY project together, your marriage is probably solid.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Right. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. And for branding, we had a lot of people comment about seeing us doing it together more so than the actual
project itself.
Yeah, project itself. So what that told us is that we needed to be in the frame together more if we can. So it affected like how we would record.
So that's knowing your audience. Our audience wanted to see us both in the frame together, doing the project. Because one of us sometimes will be behind the camera, the audio, what have you, but they like to see both of us doing it. So we're trying to do a whole lot more of both of us in the frame. I mean, we do it together, but sometimes we're not on camera doing it together.
Yeah.
So we're trying to make sure that we're on camera doing it together.
And then sometimes we have our children doing it with us. And so they seem to like that too, working with family. It also kind of made our decision to do more voiceovers together. And we're both talking about it. So just the camaraderie, I think, is one thing. And we had to learn to continue to do that theme throughout our videos. Even if we do something, it's funny because if we do something where Darius is mostly doing the project, then sometimes I'll voice over. He's doing it, but they hear me, or, different things like that. So we're just working to try to continue that consistency for our audience.
So basically that's our differentiator, is that helps us to work together as a power couple, like you said. And as a team and as husband and wife.
Yeah.
You know, it just keeps us just always doing things together. When we're growing in that aspect,
yes.
you know, we do a lot together besides DIY.
Right. So, okay. And as a result, your audience saw that, and that became the brand and message that just naturally flowed from your videos. Because as content creators, as we're on YouTube, it may take us a while. We may be consistent in uploading videos through batching out content, but the consistency in the brand and message may be a challenge, because one minute I may put up a video that's on vlogging for what I did for the day. The next video may be on tech and on the latest microphone I just purchased, or unboxing. And then when a viewer comes to view my channel or view a channel that I have, they're going to go, well, wait a minute, you were just talking about this, and now you want to talk about Steph Curry just breaking the 3-point record. You're all over the place. Your messaging is all over the place.
Exactly.
And as a result, you're going to lose the viewer. And so for you guys to be sensitive to your community, being sensitive to your viewer is a very important tip for us all as content creators, but especially those who want to get in the genre of DIY content creation. And that's the reason why I wanted to really give you guys that opportunity. I wanted to just ask you 2 more questions before we wrap up the interview. How have you guys been able to navigate avoiding burnout? Burnout from a content creation standpoint, and also burnout from a marriage and family standpoint.
Wow. First of all, I feel like we're just getting started when it comes to this content creation for our channel.
Yeah.
We had a conversation the other day about that, and I was like, wait, I feel like we're just now getting started. Like our wheels are just now turning.
But I think, what do you feel about burnout? Like
I think the burnout is an individual little burnout from editing the video. That's the part that is a little tedious. So I think sometimes the tedious things can make you feel a little burnt out. But once you get past it and you look at the product after you've done it, you feel like, wow, look at that. You know, I created this new thing, and then you have to start over again. But,
and the other thing to add to that is, I think that we feel a little burnout at different times.
Yeah.
When you have 2 people working together, I don't think we've ever felt burnout at the exact same time.
No, never.
I think it's like he feels burnout for one thing, and then I'll encourage him, and then I will feel like that, and then he encourages me. So I would say, if you're a content creator, have a person that is your encourager.
Yes.
That you know who that person is, and that can help you through burnout. Also, you can pace yourself. The wonderful thing about YouTube is that you can batch your content. So if you need to take a break, go ahead and we definitely say take a break.
Yes. And you can load it up at any time and have it just go out when you choose to have it go out.
And it's weird because when we let our audience know, like, hey, you know, we're going home for this, or this is our anniversary, we won't be uploading or anything, like everything is fine.
Yeah.
Nothing seems to change so dramatically that a 1 or 2 week rest will mess up. So to that, for burnout, if you're experiencing that, I would say, you know, make sure you have someone that can encourage you during those times, and be okay with giving yourself a break.
We're talking to the DIY power couple of YouTube, and I appreciate you both just taking time out your schedule and to share your story, because your channel is amazing. The community that you're building, and like you said, just the journey. I want to ask you both this final question. 3 things you wish you knew before you started this content creation journey, if you were starting over today.
Oh yeah. 3 things that we wish we knew.
Well, one thing for me I wish I knew is how powerful just a camera, your phone camera, is for YouTube content creation. Sometimes I went into this with my husband thinking, maybe you need the latest camera and the software and this and that, and it can be overwhelming, but really you can just have a camera from your phone and start uploading content. And there's so much free apps and software out there. If I had known that, I think I would have felt a little bit more relaxed at starting. That's one.
I think another one is I wish that I knew that everything that I did was not going to go into the final product. Like that you're going to cut sometimes the nice things out that you like. So you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with slicing things down so that it actually works for the viewer and not for you.
Great. Say that again for especially those who will watch the replay.
I think it's good that you can cut things down so that it works for the viewer and not for yourself.
Yeah, that was hard at first.
Yeah, that was really hard for us.
Darius didn't want to cut out something that he really worked hard on. So he's like, ugh,
if I worked hard on something,
he wants to put that whole 3 minutes of trying to do that in the video, and it's like, no, we can't put that in there.
Nobody's gonna watch it.
And then I think the third thing I would say, a tip or something I wish I had known before, is really how to use or understand the platforms I was putting content on. So with YouTube, they have the analytics and they have certain things that work well on YouTube. On Instagram, there's certain things that work well on Instagram that don't necessarily
work with YouTube.
Go, and the way that you interact with your audience, whether you're on Facebook, TikTok, whatever your platform is. So I think I wish I had a better understanding of YouTube before, we really started getting into it, because I think it would have changed how we created the content. And it definitely would have changed our consistency, because when we first started getting serious, we really didn't have any consistency. It was just whenever the project was
right.
Yeah. And then we learned that consistency will help you to not be burned out and not feel discouraged and not feel, all the not. It will give you confidence, when you're doing things on a regular basis, when you're planning it out. So it actually helps you out.
Yeah.
Hey, that's powerful. For those who are watching us either on YouTube or the replay, where can they get more information about you guys, even though everything is in the description section? But if they need to reach out to you and find out more about your channel, in your community.
We're on YouTube, as you know, at DIY Power Couple. We're on Instagram, DIY Power Couple, at DIY Power Couple, or hashtag DIY Power Couple. We're on Facebook the same way, DIY Power Couple. We're on Twitter at DIY Power.
It's just DIY
Power. So DIY
on
Power
Twitter.
on Twitter.
And if you'd like to email us, it's DIYPowerCouple@gmail.com. And you can visit our website at DIYPowerCouple.com.
All right.
So it's pretty consistent across
the
board.
Talk about branding.
Yes. So you got the branding down, you have the consistency, but most importantly, you have the message that's coming through, you both working together as husband and wife, family, and it's such a wonderful testimony that we wanted to have a part of this Black History series on YouTube that we're doing, and we wanted to make sure you guys were included. So I want to thank you. And question of the day for those of you who are still watching and those who will watch the replay of this, give us a hashtag replay 2022. Question of the day: what are you struggling with that's keeping you from being consistent in uploading content? Let us know in the chat or the comment section. Give us your feedback so we can encourage you to be consistent and upload, so that if you've uploaded a video, you don't allow it to go days and weeks and months and years, and you find out that you're sitting on a gold mine
Exactly.
Sitting on a gold mine.
Yeah.
Just sitting on a gold mine. So again, I want to thank you both for being a part of the Huddle series this month, and you've inspired. I told my wife when we were getting ready to go live, I said, "Look, when you watch the replay of this, don't get no ideas.
I'm gonna see
We
you up
working
there.
together."
You can have a saw in your hand.
She said, "Oh yeah," because I had Walter Rush on, who has a food channel, and and I cook in small ways. Sometimes it's more takeout. It's more takeout than indoors. And so when I had Walter Rush on for Food for the Soul, give him a shout out. So was like, "Oh, we got to watch the replay of this because we got to get you in the kitchen." Even my daughter were like, "We got to get you in the kitchen. Both of you got the same name. That's a sign from heaven, Walter."
Yeah, make that food.
So thank you so much for being on. I want you guys to hang out in the green room. And so it's a special edition of Monday Night on the Huddle, and we appreciate you checking us out. Do me a favor, share this live stream. Share this live stream. This weekend has taught me, if anything else, the power of sharing. You can share a live stream and then look and see over 2,000 people watching your video less than a matter of hours. So do me a favor, share this live stream. And if you haven't had an opportunity yet to like and subscribe, we want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel because we want to help you broaden your reach, your impact, and income through online video. We will see you on the next Huddle Saturday morning at 11 a.m. God bless.
Bless.